Hello, welcome to our Mother and Daughter channel. We're going to do a yoga class for strength today. So find a comfortable seated position. You may want to be on a block or cushion to give you that lift in the spine. You could also have your legs extended, or you could be on your knees like this, whatever is most comfortable for you. So when you find that seated position, think about grounding the hips and lifting up to make the spine as tall as possible. Half closing the eyes or closing the eyes, and just take a few moments to tune into your breath. Noticing the inhale and noticing the exhale. Just feeling the cool air come through the nostrils, all the way down. Maybe breathing a little bit deeper into the abdominal area, breathing in, belly expands. And then breathing out, hands fall in, release some tension. Just breathing in, nice and deeply. Breathing out, starting to release some tension. Excellent. So let's just mobilize the shoulders. Breathing in, exhaling to release. Good. And then the other way. So just wanting to release any kind of residual tension the body may be carrying. Excellent. And inhaling, raising the arms up, getting a bit taller in the spine. Exhaling, releasing any tension. Inhale, breathing in some light and strength to the body, and then exhaling, release. Taking a nice side stretch, the hips are grounded. You can have a bend in the elbow. Good, and the other side, inhaling, side stretch, opening up the ribs. Excellent. Now lifting up nice and tall again, inhaling and exhale to twist. Breathing here. Back to center, inhaling, finding length, exhale on the twist. Good, and then coming back to center, and let's set a little intention for our class, so something to do with strength. So that may be some inner strength, some determination, some discipline. Tapas is known in yoga, where we find a bit more discipline to control the mind a bit more. Breathe that into the body, and then exhale to release. Excellent. So we'll come onto all fours. So if you need any padding under the knees, add some padding. So you're going to find a nice tabletop position. So shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Draw in the belly, keep the neck in line with the spine. We'll come into some cat-cows. So just tipping up the pelvis, belly drops, chest rises. Drawing in the belly, rounding the spine. Good, so do a few of these in your own time. Really connecting with your spine, connecting with your breath. Inhaling in our cow. Drawing the belly in for our cat. So see if you can get that connection with the core as well. That really does help with our inner strength, that core power. Good, and then we're going to bring one leg back, find some length in that leg so we can rock back and forth, drawing in the belly, lifting the leg up to no higher than hip height. Hip points are down, maybe bringing the other arm out to the side, in front, I should say, for our balancing table. So imagine someone's got your leg and your arm. We're having to balance, drawing that belly for our core strength, and then changing sides. So make that other leg nice and long. We can rock back and forth, drawing the belly, lifting the leg to no higher than hip width apart, really feeling the back of the legs, the glute muscle, drawing the belly. Maybe the other arm comes out in front. Check the hip points are down, check you're not dropping the head. Excellent. Now we're going to do the same. So lifting the opposite leg and arm, and then drawing the knee to the elbow, and then back. Doesn't have to come all the way. So length as we come out, drawing the belly in, using that breath, finding that core strength. Good, and then repeat on the other side. Leg comes out, lifting, arm out, drawing knee to nose, summoning up that inner strength, getting some balance and strength work here. Excellent. Now we'll just come back into child pose, so legs can be nice and wide, arms can be in front, you can make a pillow, or they can come behind. So this is your child pose. Breathing here into the upper back and all of the back area. See if you can expand the lungs. Breathing in and then breathing out. Excellent. Now coming back to our tabletop, we're going to come into our plank. So for a plank, we've got a nice elongated spine. We can either be in a half plank, so the shoulders are over the wrists, we draw in the belly, or we can bring one leg out or two. So find a plank that's right for you, making sure the legs are engaged, the belly's drawn in, you're not dropping your head. Breathe here. Making sure the hips aren't too low, they're not too high. Excellent. Lower the knees back. Just rock back and forth. Release the spine, and then we'll come into our downward dog. So spreading through the hands, tucking the toes, keeping a bend in the knees, pushing up into your downward dog. So keep the knees bent to start with. Pedaling through the feet. Good. Then coming back to tabletop. And then coming back into your downward dog. Good. Maybe coming into a three-legged dog. So hip points are down. We draw in the belly so the leg can reach nice and high. Breathe here. Feeling a bit more strength work even. Breathe, and then changing legs. Notice how there's a different weight distribution when we're on 3 points of contact. We've really got to draw that belly in. Excellent. Lowering the feet, pedaling the feet. Then we're just going to walk the hands to the feet. Nice and slowly bend the knees, uncurling through the spine, nice and slowly coming up to our standing position, Tadasana. So let's come to the front of the mat, thinking about our feet nice and spread, that equal weight on four corners of the feet, lifting up nice and tall. Take a few breaths in our prayer position. Ujjayi breath, where we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And seeing if you can equalize the breath, so breathing in for 4, and then breathing out for 4. Good, so when we come into our strengthening work, standing strengthening work, we may find a bit more heat building up in the muscles. We want to keep our mind nice and calm by using that Ujjayi breath. So let's firstly start to lift the legs up, starting to draw in the belly. Arms may come up. Now we're going to come into a moving chair. So feet can be slightly wider than hip width apart. They can also be together, whatever is most comfortable for you. We're going to raise the arms up, hinging at the hips and coming back up. Good. So just get used to that movement before we come into a static chair. So from the side, the hips are coming back. We're drawing in the belly. Excellent. And now we're going to inhale up and then come into our chair pose. So weight is in the heels. Hands can be here, they can be in prayer. So chest is lifted. Find a chair pose that you can hold for a few breaths. As long as it's nothing in your knees or your back, you can sink back further. Arms can be up. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel that heat building in the quads. Breathe. Good, and then slowly release into a nice forward fold. Good. Let your head and neck relax. Hands can be on the legs. Good, and then slowly uncurling through the spine, reaching on up, breathing out, up, breathing in, and then releasing out. So let's open the legs a little bit wider now. So we're coming into kind of a mini goddess. Just going to get used to our legs in some external rotation. So inhaling up, exhaling to release. Good. Start to feel those thighs heating up a bit more, especially around the hip area. Good, and let's open the hips a bit more. Drawing in the belly. Wonderful. Finding a comfortable wide stance, we're going to come into our warrior two. So turning the foot out 90 degrees, checking that knee is in line with the ankle. Back foot turns in. We press down on that outer edge and we find our warrior two. So our hands can be here or they can be here. So the lower you sink down, the more strength is created in the legs, but we want to make sure our joints are happy with this. So if we're staying further up, that's fine. Build your strength gradually. Few breaths here. Ujjayi breath. Good, and let's let the palm sink back down. Just open it up into our peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two and take a side angle so we can be here, here, or here. Good, and press through the feet to come back up. Press through the feet, returning all the way up. Let's just release the hips, give them a nice circle. And let's repeat on the other side. So front foot out 90 degrees, back foot in. Engage the feet, engage the legs. Find the right bend in your knee so the knee is in line with the ankle. Don't let the knee roll in. Keep it out, even if you have to come up higher. So find your warrior two. Hands can be here, extended. Gazing through that middle finger, or drishti. Maybe saying to yourself, I am strong. I am determined. Breathing. Feeling the heat build up in the legs. Good, and then we'll let the back arm slide down as we come into our peaceful or reverse warrior. Good, back to our strong warrior 2 and our version of side angle. So really see if you can make the legs take all the muscular effort, so we're not sinking into our joints, we're really using the strength in our legs. Good, now press through the feet to come back up. Press again to raise all the way up. Just release the legs. Good, and another strong posture is our goddess. So our feet are wide apart, the tailbone is down, so check you're not overarching the back or rounding the spine. Knees are in line with the ankles, so avoid this, even if you stay up here. So find a position that you can hold, feeling a lot of muscular strength in our legs. So you may be here, you may be here, and your arms can be here, or prayer. So just finding that nice, strong goddess pose. So what we're doing is we're pressing out the knees with these strong legs of ours. Breathe here. So any muscular shaking in the legs is very good. Just check we're not going into our joints. There shouldn't be any pain. Breathing. Good, and press through the feet to come back up. Wonderful, give your legs a little shake. Come back to your prayer, just to remind yourself of your breathing. Inhaling up and then exhaling down. Good, inhale up and then exhale down. Now we'll come down to the mat. So we're in our Tadasana, getting ready to come into downward dog. Inhaling up, exhale down. So we want to face this way. It's because we're going to forward fold with bent knees, hands down. We're going to walk back into our downward dog. So pedaling through the feet, pressing through the hands. Think about creating as much length in the spine as you can. You can always lift the leg up again for our three-legged dog. And the other leg. Good. Drawing in that core. And then coming back to tabletop, having a rest in child pose. Stretching out in any way you like. Maybe the hips wiggle from side to side. Maybe you walk your arms out to one side, get a nice stretch in the lats. Or the other side. Excellent. And now we're going to come onto our back. Going to hug one knee in, the other knee in. Maybe circling the knees or opening up the knees, making a circular shape this way. Just loosen off the back in any way you like. And then placing the feet down, getting ready for our bridge pose. So checking the feet are in line with the knees, the palms are facing down. We're going to start to press through the feet, peeling the hips up. So let's just do a gentle one first and then slowly releasing down. So check your knees aren't splaying out. If they are, you might be coming up a little bit too high. Good. So we can keep this dynamic, or we can press through the feet. We can hold the hips up, so drawing in the belly, using the back of the legs so we're not overextending the spine. We can also interlace the hands, so we're coming up more onto our shoulders. Hold for a few breaths here into our bridge. Really feel the glute muscles working the back of the legs, the feet and the calves, and then slowly release back down. hug the knees in once more. Good, and then open the legs to about, the feet will go to the edge of the mats, and let's just windshield wiper the legs, release the hips, release the legs. Maybe coming into a twist. You can always hook the foot over the other leg if you want a stronger stretch. Breathe here. And then twisting on the other side so the knees can come to the side. You can always use blocks. Make it a comfortable twist. Maybe hooking the foot over the knee if you want more of a stretch in the hip as well. Good, and then bringing the feet back down. We're just going to stretch out before we just have a few moments of relaxation. Stretch out in any way you like. So knees can be bent in Shavasana, or they can be extended, feet turned, relaxed in a relaxing way out, palms can be up. And now just start to surrender by feeling the ground underneath you. And seeing if you can start to relax the body. And just notice any points of contact your body is making with the mat. And let the ground support you so you can start to let go of all your muscles. We don't need to hold on to them anymore. Just scan the body, scan the feet. Let the legs start to feel heavy and relaxed. And allow the hips to soften. Allow the breath to be soft and harmonious. And let the belly feel like a relaxing lake. Allow the lower back to soften. Let all the back feel nice and broad as you relax the shoulders, the arms. Soften the neck. Let the jaw relax. All of the eyes, let the tension from your eyes evaporate as your eyelids feel heavy. Just imagine some space around your forehead. And just watching the mind like clouds. Any thought is like a cloud, it will come and go. Just creating a bit of distance. And now tuning into your inner wisdom, your strength and your determination. Just take a few deep breaths, breathing in that intention. I am strong. And then just releasing any tension from the body. Now just having a final stretch out. And gradually reawakening the body. Coming onto one side, taking a couple of breaths here. Helping yourself up with your hands, you can keep your eyes closed. Finding that grounded position again. Hands in prayer, remind yourself of that intention. Just imagine you have a circle of protection around you to keep that intention going. And then bow to yourself for your practice today. Thank you for practicing today. Namaste. Hope to see you again soon.